Hey blind dieters! So today I want to talk to you about the smart and the right way to set your weight loss goals. With this method, I guarantee you that you're going to set yourself up for success rather than setting yourself up for failure. You're definitely not going to crash and burn with this one. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Welcome back once again. Thank you so much to my subscribers. I appreciate your continued support. And if you're a first-time visitor, welcome to the family. Remember to click the subscription button down below and click the notification bell so you're told every time that I upload a new video, and also like, share, and all that good stuff. So, I made a conscious choice to share my goals and my journey with you. So I also want to tell you the smart way of making goals, setting goals that are going to make sure that you succeed, because weight loss is it's not just something that just happened. A lot of times that just happens, rather. A lot of times I talk to people who have lost weight or who have definitely, been doing something behind the scenes, and I guess they don't want to be found out, or they think it's embarrassing. What did you do? And they just say, it's just happening on its own. I remember, yeah, it's just happening. They don't want to tell you exactly what they're doing behind the scenes so that you can also get the same results that they're getting. But let me tell you this. It needs to be really planned out for you to get success when it comes to weight loss. At least with everybody that I've seen in my walk, I've seen a lot of people successful, and they always plan their diet. They count their calories, or at least they plan their meals, and they also exercise. So the first step is to set a goal, which is like the be all end all. Like, what do you want to obtain out of that journey that you're taking? Like for me, I have to be at least 72 kgs for me to be within a healthy BMI for my body and my weight and my height and everything. So that's what my doctor told me. So, and also you can just calculate it on your own without going to a doctor. But my overall goal is to get to 72 kg. You can just get an app, a unit converter, just to convert that to pounds, to stone, or whatever units that you use where you come from. So that's my goal. What you have to do though is break that goal down into pieces, into objectives. Those objectives are going to, when you fulfill those objectives, they will ensure that you achieve your overall goal. So I already told you, I gave you an example. Like for me, I want to be 72 kg so that I can be within a healthy BMI for my body type, and just to be healthy and to feel like myself again. So with you, maybe you want to be more fit. Maybe you want to fit into some clothes better. That's a perk that comes along with it. For me, number one thing is to be healthy. So that may not be your goal. I'm just giving you an example. So the first step, set your goal, which is the overall, the ultimate goal at the end of your journey. What is it that if you achieve that after your weight loss journey, you will be like satisfied and happy? So the next step, you have to break that goal into objectives using what we call the SMART principle. I remember when I first started my degree, that was one of the first things that I was taught in marketing class, setting goals, and they called it the SMART principles. So your goals have to be these 5 things. Number 1, it needs to be specific. Okay? It needs to be very specific. Like I said, my overall goal is to lose 72 kg. But now I'm breaking it down to objectives, right? So my goal is to lose 72. I'm not saying I just want to lose some weight, I want to, go down a dress size. It's not, you need to really specifically write down what you want, right? So that you know what you're working towards. I remember some time back I did the keto diet, and at that time I really was following it to a T, okay? I remember I was weighing my food, I was weighing my carbs, I wasn't eating that much, and I was working out like a beast, guys. Okay, I ended up actually hurting my knees, my shoulders, and stuff like that because I was just working out, lifting weights that were too heavy for me, just trying to push myself. And every single day, like I did it like for 3 months, and the only way that, like, I had no goal, like, what do I want to achieve? I was just doing this. Like, I didn't even know, do I want to lose? I didn't even know how much I weighed at the time. I didn't even know how much I weighed. To be honest with you, I didn't know. I was just doing this. I didn't have a scale in my house, or I didn't go anywhere where I could weigh myself. Come on. Like, of course I failed. When I stopped doing the keto diet, it was around this time, around Christmas time. We had guests and visitors, and we were eating during the holidays, and I actually ended up gaining weight after the holidays when I stopped my diet, and I just gave up. So have a goal, which is number one, specific. Number two, because we said SMART, remember, it needs to be measurable. So have a way of measuring your goal. How do you measure your goal? Are you going to do weekly weigh-ins? Are you going to do, for me, this is what I do. I weigh myself every single day. Every single day. And I'll explain to you why I do that in a minute. But having a goal being measurable, it helps you to know where you are versus where you want to go. So if you weigh yourself every day and you are at 88 kg, and then you weigh yourself every day, then at the end of the week you find out that you are 87, you can actually see, like, okay, so what I'm doing is working because I'm moving closer and closer. By these measurements, I'm actually seeing that, okay, I'm moving closer and closer to 80 kg that was my goal. So you have to find a way of measuring your goal. If you are just trying to be fit, measure your strength. How can you measure it? Can you do 5 more reps than you could do, say, a week ago? Can you lift 5 more pounds than you could lift a month ago? If your goal is to be healthy, maybe you can measure it by how many times you have cravings for sugar and what, just find different ways of measuring. A real goal needs to be measurable. You need to have a method, at least, of measuring it. If you want to fit into your dress, try it on every week and see, okay, this time I couldn't button my waist. Okay, now I can button it. Oh, I couldn't tie this belt around my waist. Now I can do it. Measuring. You need to measure where you are versus where you want to go. So it could even go either of two ways. Maybe you're going down, or you might find your way that you're going up. Then you have to tweak something. Or you're staying the same. Then you have to tweak something. But either way, it has to be a measurable goal. All right? So we're going to go on to number 3. The A part. It needs to be attainable. Some say achievable. So for me, I said 72 kgs is my overall goal. But when I decided to bring it down when I'm doing my objectives to 80 kgs. That's how I always do it, and that's what works for me. So I'm at 86.5 now. What I want to do is get down to 80. So let's say my goal for now, that is achievable, I want to say 6 kgs so that I get down to 80 kgs. Then the rest will follow from there. So realistically, you need to have a conversation with yourself. Because setting a goal, like I want to lose 6 kgs in 4 weeks, might not be that attainable for you if you have a lifestyle where you can't work out or you can't really plan your meals. Get something that's realistic for you. Or like for someone like me to say, oh, I want to lose 6 kgs in 1 month. That means I have to be working out 5 hours in the day for it to be realistic. So we haven't gotten to that part yet, but for it to be attainable, don't set yourself up for failure. So unattainable, another thing that you need to really think is, can you visualize that goal? Like for me, I can't even think of myself being 50 kgs. I was that weight once. I remember right after I gave birth to my daughter, I don't know, like I think I was just much younger then, you know, I lost all the baby weight and I was just like, I was 59 kgs. And I was like, wow, you know, but I can't even visualize that, you know, that's why I said, let me set 80 kgs because I'm at 86.5. I can't visualize myself at 50 kg or 55 kg. I can't. So an attainable goal is actually something that you can visualize. Can you see it coming to fruition? Then we get to the fourth part, the R. Is it realistic? Okay? Is it realistic? You're 100 kgs, but you're saying, I want to drop 50 kgs and be this way, and I'm going to have this body, or, you know, something that's just unrealistic. I remember when I was a teenager, I used to look at posters of like Rihanna, all these people, thinking that if I lose weight, I'm going to have that kind of body. But we're all built differently. Okay, you might lose weight and you might not have the kind of body that whoever it is, you know, is. I know some people who are very, they're in a healthy weight, but they still have that little belly, that pooch, the lower belly pooch. They're at a, you know, like their BMI is healthy, healthy, healthy. The best, if they go to the doctor, yeah, you're okay. But they still have a little belly. And I know people that are well over their BMI. But they have a flat stomach. They gain weight everywhere else except their belly. So your goal needs to be realistic. Don't be inspired by things that are just not realistic. Okay? You also need to think about, do I have the tools needed to achieve this? Like, for example, I mentioned that for me, I have a treadmill. I also have weights and whatever. I actually have a gym in the back where I have weights, a bench, and I have some space where I can even run around. Do I have the tools to achieve what I want to achieve? Let's say you live in a one-room apartment. What can you do in that apartment? Can you realistically achieve the goals given the tools that you have? What kind of knowledge do you have? Maybe you live in a household where you cannot afford a lot of, you know, weight loss stuff. Like where I am, where I live, we don't have access to that much weight loss products, like specifically like weight loss shops. They're very few. Like I would love to have some Halo Top ice cream, you know, when you can have like a whole pint, which is less than like 300 calories. I would love that. Or I would love to have those konjac noodles. You know what they call the 0-calorie noodles. I would love to have erythritol close by, but I have to make sure that, okay, whatever, do I have the tools to make this goal a realistic goal? So that's another thing that you have to look at. Be realistic when you're setting your goals so that you don't end up being discouraged and demoralized when whatever you want to do doesn't pan out. That brings me to point number 5, the T. It has to be timely, or some say time bound. Do you have a time frame as to when you want to achieve that goal? By the end of the year, I want to lose 2 kgs. By December 31st, I want to be down 3 kgs. Remember, we said realistic. That might not be realistic because we're getting into the festive season. People are going to be eating and doing all that stuff. You might not have enough time for whatever you want to do. But anyway, yeah, it has to be time bound. So a good way of putting it is, I want to lose 6 kgs in 2 months. So by let's say this week, you already know how much you're supposed to lose that week. The next week, you already know how much you're supposed to lose that week. By the end of month one, let's say you're supposed to have lost 3 kgs already. Then you go on the scale, you say, okay, I've lost 2 kgs, so what can I do to make sure that this coming month I'm closer to my goal, or at least I'm even over my goal. So if you set your goals in that way, I guarantee you, okay, you're not paying for this, but I wish I could give you a money back guarantee on that, because there's no one that I know who's actually sat down and planned their goals this way who has not achieved what they wanted to achieve or have come very, very close to their goal. So anyway, blank dieters, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I'm going to take you along and I'm going to weigh myself, and you're going to see in real time me weighing myself, and you're going to see. You're going to see everything. And also I'm going to share with you what I'm going to be eating throughout the day. Have a good one. Yeah, so I'm in my bathroom now. I just want to weigh myself so you can see it in real time. Well, not real time, but you know what I mean. Because what I didn't tell you guys is I was actually 88. The last day before I started my diet, I thought I was 86, but I weighed myself. It had gotten so bad, guys, I was back to 88. So I just want to step on this. Have to let it get to 0, let it initialize. Now, look at that. I'm on 86.5. I just oiled my feet, can you tell? Hey, blank dieters. So this is the spaghetti. I made the spaghetti today, but you remember I made the sausage and the sauce yesterday. And this is what I'm having. It's around 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Okay, so I'm having it with my Coke. The less sugar Coke that I showed you guys that time. Mix it up. Just look at that. And these white things that you see in there are garlic flakes, guys. The garlic makes this thing just off the chain. Just look at that. All right, guys, let me go eat. I'm so hungry. I had already started digging in. Oh my God, I almost forgot. Check this out. I am having this with a salad. I still have some lettuce from my backyard, guys. So yeah, that's what I'm having it with. Good evening, guys. So I'm eating popcorn. These are about 6 cups of popped popcorn, and I'm having it with my Coke. Yeah, I just hit a block while I was editing, and I really needed a snack, so that's what I'm eating. Okay, guys, so I had 1,415 calories. I was over by 65 calories. I was just having too many cravings today, but I said, let me give in so that I don't mess up my diet, because sometimes if you don't give in to your cravings, you end up eating more than you actually want to. So after my spaghetti, as you saw, my lunch was 868 calories. The spaghetti, the sausage, it was so delicious, and the salad, it actually filled me up. And then I just hit a block when I was editing, and I needed to have something to snack on, so I decided to pop some popcorn with about maybe a teaspoon of oil. And that was 200 calories. And then later on that night is when I was, because I was still stressed out, I said, okay, let me try to have the healthy, not the healthy, but have something that's just going to give me that feeling of, okay, I had it. So I had a mini chocolate bar, my lunch bar, and I had some cookies, guys. I first had 1 cookie, and then I decided to go back for 3 more. So yeah, that was my day, guys. I was over by 65 calories. Good afternoon, guys. So it's after 3 p.m. and your girl is so hungry. I've just been so busy. I meant to eat earlier, I think around 1:30, but I've had so much to do. So this is what I'm having for my breakfast slash lunch slash first meal of the day. All right. Good evening. How are you doing? No, you're not dizzy. I just did this. Don't think you're dizzy. Okay, so I'm cooking these tilapia. I had to put them in some water so they could defrost. So yeah, I'm still trying to decide how I'm gonna cook them. Normally, because these are very thin fish, what I would do is I would make a nice white sauce and then put them in the sauce. And then after I put them in the sauce, when they're about halfway cooked, I take them off and I let them finish cooking just in the juices, because that's how you cook fish, if you want it to be not rubbery and all that. But I'm thinking I might end up just like lightly frying it, and then I put the sauce on top. So I'll let you know what I decide. Okay guys, so this is the white sauce that I made that's gonna go with the fish. And I'm trying, but I guess you'll see it when I finish plating. But yeah, this is the white sauce that I made that's going to go. These are onions that you see that are in there. I just don't like to make it plain, but it's gonna be delicious. So I'm going to kind of lightly sear the fish. Okay guys, so this is how it looks. This was me trying to see that it was cooked all the way. So yeah, it's not gonna be, of course, like restaurant perfect, but it's gonna be pretty good. So I'll put the sauce on top, and yeah. All right, so it's done. This is the meal. I'm having the 100, I think this is about 200 grams now, not 150 grams of tilapia, because there was a little piece. So I kind of took the extra piece. So it's about 200 grams of tilapia, some spinach, mashed potatoes, 200 grams of mashed potatoes. So this is the meal. And of course I'm having it with my Coke. See, I know it's gonna be delicious, guys. Let me go and eat this food. Okay, so I was over again today by 57 calories. This is not good, guys, because at the end of the week, those small little calories, they add up. Okay, if you do this for 5 days, that means that's a total of like an extra 250 calories a week. And yeah, I don't want to continue that habit, but sometimes, as women, our cycle, throughout the month, you kind of just have these moments where you just are craving things. So you don't want to go overboard. So I always try to give in, especially if I feel like it's getting bad. So that's what I did. So for my lunch, I had an early lunch. Let's just say first meal of the day. I had the eggs, the bread, and my tea, which was 480 calories. And then for dinner, I had a total of 702 calories with the mashed potatoes, the tilapia, the spinach, and yeah. Then later on that night, I had 225 calories worth of snacks, which was my lunch bar and the cookies.